Hello, welcome. Today we're going to be focusing on the spine. We're going to be moving our spine in different directions. We're going to be learning some alignment cues that help us take care of our spine as we move through our postures. And we're also going to be strengthening some of the muscles that support the spine, that support our posture. We'll be starting in cat pose, which is on our hands and knees. So you might want to have a blanket handy. You can fold it and lay it crossways on the mat, and then it can be there to cushion your knees. Okay? So if we were in our cat pose, like this. You also might want to have a block handy if you have one. I'll be demonstrating one flow with a block, but you don't need the block in order to do the practice. Okay? So let's set up our space, and I'll meet you on the mat. We'll be starting in cat pose. In cat pose, we have our wrists underneath our shoulders. We have our fingers spread wide. We have our knees underneath our hips or a little further back. Yeah, see, mine are a little further back. I like to have a little more space for my spine. I like to tuck my toes in cat pose. So you might try that if it's comfortable for you. And you might kind of come back and forth between tops of feet to ground and toes tucked if it's something that you're working towards. In our cat pose, we're going to first pay attention to the spine. Can we bring our spine parallel to ground? Try to reach back through the sits bones and lift forward through the sternum, through the top of the head, stretching the spine in both directions. Let's take a nice full inhale here, and then exhale everything with a inhale. Feel that length through the spine. And exhale, let things soften a little bit with a, okay. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, waking up the sits bones, reaching through the top of the head. And on the next exhalation, let's draw the tail down toward the mat and draw the forehead toward the tail. So we're arching the spine, curling or tucking into ourselves. Okay. Inhale, we're going to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, we're going to tuck through the spine. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, tuck. Let's add one more piece to our cat pose. So as we lengthen through this spine this time, let's draw the cranium up toward the ceiling a little bit more, and then begin to lift the chin forward. So you might feel that lower spine responding. So we're moving into deeper extension here through the spine. And then we'll exhale, moving into flexion. Inhale, find the length through the spine first, cranium moving up toward the sky, and then lifting a little forward through the chin. Exhale, cat tuck. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat tuck. Inhale, cat. This time, let's exhale, child pose. So child pose, we're going to bring hips to heels, and we're going to slide the hands forward and lower the forehead down toward the mat. We're going to pause for the inhalation here. Nice wide breath through the back body. And on the next exhalation, we're going to lift up through the hips, drawing them back over the knees, sliding the hands in, landing in cat tuck. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hips toward the heels to child's pose. Now, if you have difficulty with the knees, if they don't like a lot of flexion, you just stay up a little higher through the hips, okay? Pause for the inhale. Exhale, cat tuck. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child. the child pose that is right for your body. Pause for the inhalation. Exhale, cat tuck. Let the head soften and relax. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child. Pause for the inhalation. Exhale, cat tuck. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child. This is our last round here. Pause for the inhale. Exhale, cat tuck. Soften the neck. Inhale, cat. All right. From here, we're going to play with cat bows. In the cat bow, we're drawing the elbows towards the back of the mat and we're lowering the chest between the hands and then pressing back up. If you were to draw a triangle here and the hands were the 2 points at the base of the triangle, the top point of the triangle is where you'd like to bring your chin or your face towards. That helps us bring the chest between the hands. So we're working on gaining strength in the upper arms here. And we're trying to keep the elbows moving towards the back of the mat and not out to the sides. All right? So it's not like a classic push-up position. And we might just be waking up those muscles that be going, kind of shaking a little as we start. And we're just getting a sense of them. Some of us might be able to come down further. If we're coming down further, we want to stop where the shoulders are in line with the elbows and then press back up. Okay? So we all have a different place to start, but we're just going to say hello. And then we're going to lower all the way down. So if it's a challenging pose for you, this is kind of nice because we know we get to land. We don't have to press back up. So elbows towards the back, slowly lowering. We're going to lower chest, and then tops of the hips, tops of the feet, and forehead to the mat. So this is face down position. Now we're going to lift up enough that we can bring the arms all the way forward, extended face down. And we're going to pause for the inhalation. On the next exhalation, we're going to lift the right leg, the left arm, and the spine up off of the mat. We're going to level the hips. So instead of rocking up, we're going to press down through the front of both hip bones with the same amount of pressure, all right? And then we're going to reach the fingers and the toes away from the central line of the body. So away, and then we're going to lower back down. Inhale. On the exhalation, left leg, right arm and spine. We're keeping the head in line with the spine here. We're going to level down through the pelvis and then reach the fingers and toes away from the navel before we lower back down. Inhale. Exhale, right leg, left arm, spine, lifting, head in line with the spine. Level the pelvis, inhale, reach fingers and toes away from the navel. Exhale, lower down. Inhale. Exhale, left leg, right arm, spine, level the pelvis, inhale, reach, and exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, right leg, left arm, level the pelvis, inhale, reach, and exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, left leg, right arm, level the pelvis, inhale, reach, and exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, right leg, left arm, inhale, reach, and exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, left leg, right arm, inhale, reach, and exhale, lower. Inhale. Exhale, right leg, left arm, Inhale, reach. We might just hold at the top of that lift and reach again. The breath might be just a little more shallow, that's okay. And then lower it down. Inhale. Exhale, lift leg right arm. Inhale, reach. We're going to pause here if we can through the exhale. Inhale, reach. And then exhale, lower it down. As we lower down, let's bend the left elbow and rest the forehead on the forearm. And bring the right hand back. We're going to reach for the foot or the ankle. Some of us might grab the pant leg. You could also use a strap if you have a hard time reaching. But from here, we're going to draw the heel down toward the buttock and press down through the front of the thigh. Inhale, full breath. Exhale with an audible sigh with a... So deepening awareness into the rhythm of the breath here. Nice. And we might draw the heel slowly toward the outer hip. Noticing the sensation in the front of the hip flexor area. And then slowly drawing it back right to the center point. Pressing down through the front of the thigh, the knee. And next exhalation, we're going to lower the right leg all the way down and we're going to change sides. So we bring the right arm forward, rest the forehead on the right forearm, bring the left hand back, reaching for the foot, the ankle, or wherever we can reach. We're going to bring the heel toward the buttock as we press down through the front of the thigh, reaching the knee toward the mat. Noticing the rhythm of the breath. And we might draw the heel toward the outer hip. Nice slow movement there. Slowly drawing it back to center. Again, pressing through the front of the thigh, the knee. Nice steady breath. And then we can release the left leg down. So here is where I like to use the block. I'm going to bring the block between the upper thighs, so it's pointing up to sky. I'm going to tuck the toes and lift the knees up off of the mat, and that helps me squeeze the block a little with the inner thighs and also create the alignment that I'm hoping for, so that as I lower my thighs, I want tops of my thighs to the mat, tops of feet to the mat, heels turning up to sky. Then I'm going to bring my hands into alignment. So fingers in alignment with the top of the shoulders, elbows tucking in like that cat pose, forehead toward the mat. Letting my pubic bone soften down toward the mat. It isn't a hard tuck, but it is a softening down. We're going to inhale here. And on the next exhalation, we're going to draw shoulders up to the ears as we lift up through the spine and then roll the shoulders back and down. Okay, so here is a soft, small cobra position. Hopefully a position where we can take a nice full inhalation. And then on the exhalation, we'll take it a little further. Okay, we're going to squeeze shoulder blades towards the spine. We're going to move the shoulders away from the ears and lift the sternum forward toward the front of the mat. You might notice some sensation here. If you do, again, let that pubic bone drop down, stabilize through the pelvis, the low back. So we begin to move more into the thoracic spine or middle spine. Lowering down, relax. Let's inhale, full breath. On the exhalation, rolling the shoulders up to the ears as we lift up through the spine and roll the shoulders back and down. Just a lovely feel-good movement there. Inhale in this small cobra pose. So we aren't using arm strength. We're not pushing into it. We're really settled into something that should be doable for the spine. And then on the exhalation, we might lift the palms this time. Squeeze shoulder blades towards the spine. Move shoulders away from the ears. Lift up through the sternum, through that heart center area, and then lower down. Relax. Find the inhalation. Exhale, shoulders up to the ears, rolling back and down. We pause in our baby cobra for a nice full breath. On the exhalation, deepening, shoulders away from the ears, elbows squeezing in toward the spine. We might even begin to lift up through the feet here, and then we lower down. We'll do 2 more rounds with the breath. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders rolling up and back and down. Pause for the inhalation. Exhale, lifting up. Shoulder blades towards the spine, shoulders away from the ears, drawing the sternum forward, and then lowering back down. Last round. Inhale. Exhale, shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Pause for the inhalation. Exhale, lift, squeeze a little. We might pause here for another breath or 2, depending on what's available to us. And then lowering down. As we lower, we can release the block back to the side. We're going to tuck the toes. And then we're going to press down through the palms and lift up through the hips. So strongly lifting the hips. And we're going to press the hips back toward the heels to child pose one more time. Nice full breath here. Next inhale, we lift up through the spine just enough to walk the hands to the right. We're going to press through the base of the left pointer finger and move the hips a little bit to the left. All right? Soften down through the neck, the head, and find the breath. Nice full inhalation, exhaling completely. Noticing the stretch in that left side body, underarm area. One more. Nice full inhale. Exhaling completely. And then we're going to lift up with our next inhale. Coming through center, walking hands to the left, pressing through the base of the right pointer finger, hips a little to the right, softening through the spine. Nice full inhale. Exhaling completely. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. One more breath. And then inhaling back to center. We're going to lift the hips, coming back into our cat pose. So taking a moment in cat to notice how things are feeling. How is the spine feeling? How's the low back feeling? And checking back in with those alignment cues. So wrists underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide. We call that earth mudra, so that there's space between the fingers, equal space. And we aren't overstretching because we don't want to hurt the hands, right? Tucking the toes if we can, or bringing tops of feet to ground if we've had enough of that so far today. From here, we're going to work with thread the needle. We're going to explore the shoulder, the scapula, and then move into a bit of a twist and stretch. So as I do that, I like to widen my knees a little bit, and I might even be slipping on this cork mat, we'll see. I'm going to bring the right arm straight out from the shoulder, and then I'm going to twist a little. So I'm going to turn the palm up to sky and let that twist my arm until I can drop down and get into the shoulder. So I'm moving that scapula, shoulder blade away from the spine. And then I'm going to be rolling back from the shoulder and reaching my fingertips away from my spine, away from my sternum. Okay, I'm going to turn a little just so you can see a little bit more. So we turn the palm up to sky, we're twisting through the arm, dropping down into the shoulder, and you can let the head be where it needs to be here. And then rolling open from the shoulder and reaching away from the shoulder socket. So can you see that there's like some space there? All right, dropping down, opening from the shoulder, reaching away. Now some of us might be able to reach in an angle up towards sky, but that's not available to everyone. So I would like you to be where you can create the space in the shoulder and some ease and some breath. Deep and down. So for me, the inhale is here and the exhale is here. Inhaling as I reach, and exhaling as I deepen down. We'll take one more reach. Inhale, press through the left hand as you reach and stretch out and up and wherever it is for your body through your right arm. And then we're going to scoop right arm underneath the left here. And we're going to try to bring our right ear to ground. And then we'll move our left hand over so that the left hand is underneath the elbow. Press gently into the left hand and move the hips a little bit to the right. So we're getting a twist through the spine and a stretch in the back body. Nice wide inhalation. Exhaling completely. You can pay particular attention to the back ribs here as you inhale and exhale. Last time. As we exhale, pressing into that left hand, we're lifting up, and then we're going to reach back out through the right. Inhale fully, exhale, lower the right hand down. We're coming back into our cat pose. Inhale long through the spine, noticing things. And then on the exhalation, let's bring the left arm out from the shoulder. Going to inhale, full breath. Exhale, turn the palm up to sky. So we're twisting through that left arm, dropping down through the shoulder. Inhaling, opening from the shoulder, reaching the fingers away from the center line of the body. Exhale, dropping, deepening in. Inhale, reaching out. Exhale, deepening in. Inhale, reaching away. Space in the shoulder. Movement in the shoulder blade. Yeah. Inhale, reach. Exhale, deepen. This is our last round. So as we reach this time, we're pressing down through the right hand and reaching through the left hand with equal amount of energy or effort. And then we're going to scoop our left hand underneath our right, left ear to ground. Right hand is going to move over so that the wrist is underneath the elbow. We press gently into the right hand and move the hips a little bit to the left. And we breathe here. So nice wide breath. Feeling into the back ribs. They expand. Inhale fully. Next exhale, pressing into that right hand, lifting up. We're going to stretch one more time. And then lower the left hand back down. So we're coming back into our cat pose. We might realign our knees for a moment. And then we're going to move our spines from side to side in lateral flexion. So we'll inhale full breath, and on the exhalation, let your attention travel down the spine, reach out through the tail like you could fluff your tail out. And then we're going to move the tail to the right, and we're going to move the right ear toward the right shoulder. And we're going to come back to center, nice long spine. And then exhale, attention moves down the spine. We fluff the tail, we swoosh the tail to the left ear toward the left shoulder. And back to center. We're going to keep moving from side to side with the breath at our own pace, lengthening the spine, and then moving it into a C curve, basically from side to side. My encouragement for you is to think about widening, fanning open one side of the spine and then the other. So less important how far over we get. I think there's often a tendency to go, I'm going to get my ear or my head toward my tail. And then it becomes more of a sensation of crunching through the spine. And we're really wanting to fan open and lengthen and stretch and create space in one side of the spine. More so than creating compression or tension. And you might just notice if there are parts of the spine that move more easily than others, and perhaps bringing some attention or awareness to those areas where there's a little less capacity for movement. Can we move the breath there? And returning from the left to center, we're going to move into our final pose of this flow. We're going to move the knees out a little, bring tops of feet to the mat, and then big toes toward each other, and bring hips toward the heels. I call this wide child. A lot of people think I'm saying wild child. I like that too. Walk the hands forward, lower the forehead down toward the mat, and inhale, full breath. Exhale everything with an audible sigh with a... Might move a little, rock a little. And encourage your attention to be with the breath here. Nice full inhalation. Exhaling completely, navel drawing gently toward the spine. We might begin to explore a little bit of a spinal flow here. I also like to bring my hands into a triangle position, so the thumb tips together and then the pointer fingers together, and I can bend my elbows a little bit, just taking pressure off of the arms or shoulders. Inhale. I'm going to exaggerate a little bit for you, and then maybe you can see it a little bit more. We're going to round a little through the spine, kind of like that cat tuck. And then exhale, lengthen through the spine. You might lift the chin. Some of us are going to be higher, and it'll be fine just to be long. We're deepening the breath. And encouraging our attention to drop into the sensation of the breath and how the breath moves the spine. So we can encourage a little more movement, or we could stay nice and subtle. And then just letting the forehead rest gently if you can. Easy breath. And we're going to lift up through the spine. Walk the hands in. Lift up. Draw the knees back in underneath the hips. And then shift around. We're going to come into a comfortable seat to complete today. Inhale, full breath. Exhale with an audible sigh, a little bit of a slump with a and then inhale, steady through the legs, the pelvis. Lift up through the spine. Nice. Exhale, hands to heart. We can bow the head if it's comfortable for us in our practice. Honoring the journey of the body, the breath, the mind, and the heart. And honoring this practice, this time to be in deeper relationship with ourselves, with each other, and with all that is. Thank you for joining me.